Do you feel like you possess solid power, but you just can't transfer it into your stroke? Well, don't worry, so many people struggle with this. In this video, we're gonna talk about how you can transfer maximum power into the water, and we're gonna do it step by step. Let's do this. First thing we're gonna do is look at how it should be done. We're gonna look at Alexander Popov, the Olympic legend, and calculate his SWOLF score. That means how many strokes does he take and how fast can he do a 50-meter freestyle. This is a measure of power and efficiency, and we have to learn from the best. Here's Alex in training doing a 50-meter freestyle, and we've actually slowed it down to count the strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Incredible, so efficient. Now let's look at him in real speed and get a clock on him. One thing I want you to notice about his stroke is that he's so loose on top and powerful underneath. And this is despite the fact that he's a sprinter. Sprinting and staying so loose and relaxed, it's just beautiful. I think he has one of the most gorgeous freestyles that ever walked the planet. He's getting close to the finish. 23.7, incredible. So that gives us a SWOLF score of 48. Now, if we want to get this efficient like Popov, let's look at some of his methods. Again, we can see his gorgeous freestyle, and now let's see how we can transfer power like he does by practicing what he does, and he dubs it the kayak method. You take this motion that he does right here as if you're in a kayak, focusing on being loose on top and strong underneath as you roll through. And he does this with head up freestyle drill, also known as water polo drill, that helps him to kind of feel it. Arms loose on top, and as soon as they hit the water, they flex and get powerful. This is how you can generate massive propulsion, and is the first step to realizing how to swim fast and powerful in freestyle. Now let's look at the next issue. The next step is to prevent power loss by not snaking in the water. In other words, don't cross the midline of your stroke. When we do this, power loses its transfer into the water. When we look at the legend Ian Thorpe, you can see that his stroke is beautifully lined up, going from one side to the other. Whereas my non-swimmer wife here, her power is going in two different directions. This is a surefire way to just not put that power that you possess into the water. When we look at Ian again, you can just see he just rocks smoothly from one side to the other. No power is lost whatsoever. And the way we can actually do this is with a drill that I call the twist drill. We want to start from an extended position because that causes buoyancy, and then we do a slight lean to one side. This slight lean teaches us how to not over rotate and keep everything lined up, because over rotation is a huge reason for causing power loss in the stroke. And when we look at this from under the water, you see that when I lean to the one side, it's just right in the position I want to be in right before I put power into my stroke. Now let's look at how we can prevent over rotation further.
Now, a trick to get perfect rotation is to actually have your hips locked in. I'm gonna take this noodle right here, I'm gonna rest my bottom half on it, and I'm gonna rotate to the max, keeping my hips locked in. Now, when you don't have the noodle, you still, with this kind of imagery, you will rotate correctly. So let me show you how it looks. There, you saw when the noodle was down at my feet, my hips were still rotating. It doesn't mean that my hips stay flat, but because my feet are locked in and they can't go all over the place, I'm actually rotating correctly. And guys, if you want to know your true swim potential in this moment, I want you to take my quiz and we'll give you a score to let you know. Look in the comments below, click the link and find out. Guys, I hope so far you're getting some aha moments in this video. Now, because of the success of the YouTube channel, I get tons of requests for private coaching. People even want to fly in, which I'm so honored by. The trouble is there's not enough hours in the day to give people the attention they deserve. That's why I developed and recorded with a real swimmer the exact aha breakthrough moments that you can achieve as well. You will actually see what I do with swimmers to get them faster in just one session. I've dubbed it the Freestyle Glide Breakthrough. That's what we've been talking about in this video, and this is what I would do with you if I was to work with you one-on-one. Just look for the link in the description and you can get yours today.
Now, one of the next things that's preventing a power transfer is that I see so often with even advanced swimmers is when they go for a breath, they let their arm slip down. It should stay up there, guys. Look at this. When I go for a breath, the arm comes down on the pulling side. You need to keep it straight. If you do this, you're gonna lose power before you even have a chance to start. The key is to have your body lined up like we talked about before, and when you go for a breath, let it just surf. When you surf on that arm, it sets you up for massive power when you pull through. And the easiest way to fix this is to do the classic catch-up stroke. It forces you to keep that arm up there, and then it sets you up for a perfect pull and catch. And a lot of times in swimming, guys, it's all about the setup. When you mess up the setup, you mess up the power. And now when you look at me from this other angle, you can see that I'm breathing to the same side every time to just establish that rhythm of keeping that arm up there and creating that correct setup. Now it's time to look at the biggest thing that causes loss of power in swimmers. And that, of course, is the dropped elbow. This looks fine right here, but when you see underwater, that elbow is dropping, which causes you not to engage the powerful muscles of your body. In correct freestyle, we have to keep that elbow high. But everybody says that, but what does it actually mean? I'm gonna show you right now. The big misconception when it comes to pulling and catching the water is that when people stick their arm in, and we're gonna do a demonstration right here on land. Now, Lynn, if you just put your hand here, if you're just straight flat, like we talked about when you under rotate in freestyle, it's hard to push down. And plus my elbow is dropped right here. But if I extend, turn, and just rotate my shoulder inwards like this, I immediately have much more power and I can push her down. So we're building off of what we just talked about. And number 3, it was about rotation. So now we figured out how to rotate perfectly. Now let's try to, within that rotation, catch the most water possible. Remember, we talked about rotating to the max, turning that shoulder inwards, makes that elbow high. The perfect drill for that is the underwater dog paddle drill. We'll rotate to the max, but not too far, and then pull down with a high elbow, and then rotate with momentum to the other side. And again, rotate inwards, pull down, and rotate to the other side. We'll glide, have momentum, as well as keeping that high elbow. Arms stay in the water so that we can feel the water much better. So as we talked about before, that cue of always being on top of the water, now we're gonna get a visual so that you can better understand that to help you keep that high elbow and having that wrist bent properly. So when you're coming through, you come through like this, enter the water, and as we're getting to the power point of the stroke, right here where you're gonna grab the most water, you can just imagine that something circular like this is underneath you. And we're gonna do like we said before, we're gonna push it back and just push it behind us. And that's all that water just going way behind us and propelling us forward. That's what you wanna visualize when you're in the water. Just like this, guys. And it's a good idea to sometimes just lean on something like this and practice that feel of how that power going through can propel you forward on an object like this. Guys, the beauty of this stuff is that you don't have to increase the amount of time you spent in the water. You just make these little tweaks and they can create massive power into your stroke. For example, look at Rowdy Gaines when he was 52 years old. He didn't even swim that much at that time, and because of his correct technique, he could swim the 100 freestyle this fast. Let's put a clock on him and watch. Here's Rowdy Gaines, age 52, swimming 100 freestyle. And guys, you're gonna see that he implements everything that we talked about in this video. Most importantly, I want you to first notice that he keeps his stroke front quadrant. That means when he goes for a breath, that arm that he's about to pull with stays up there. This allows him to have the correct setup, stretch out, and glide, adding momentum to his stroke. First 50 in 22.5 seconds, my goodness, incredible. And even on the second 50, when some fatigue is setting in, he holds his stroke together by being efficient. I didn't get his SWOLF score, but maybe some of you want to rewind this back and count how many strokes it took him to swim a 50. I wonder how it compares to pop-offs, but let's see what he finishes this off in. 46 seconds, incredible.
Guys, if you found value in this content, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us stay alive. And also, if you want to know how to take your freestyle to the next level by using something like swim mobility, I do a lot of talking about that. Check out this video, and also take a look in the link in the description. You can see more about that as well there. Take care.